It's alright. It's such a big journey.
We can take a picture together.
I'm doing video.
Oh, you are? Hi, Nadhira. Thank you so much for joining us. First off, I just want to say I really want to hear your story. Way back, if I took it to what did I want to be, grow up to be when I was in school, it was a dolphin trainer. And then in school, it was I wanted to just, change social economy. So I thought I was going on the path of economics. And when I actually got to uni, math in economics was actually quite hard for me, and I didn't get it, and I was falling asleep in lectures, and I was thinking, I don't know if I can survive this journey. And because I was an international student in Melbourne, so I'm originally from Sri Lanka, it was actually challenging to get a graduate job, just like all my other friends were getting. They did, had a commerce degree on their back, and they would just go into an accounting firm. And none of that appealed to me. Like, I actually, the thought of it was making me bored, right? So I thought, okay, I'm finding my feet. I don't really know what it is that I want to do anymore. So I was a little lost, and I needed to just make some money to just pay the bills. So I got temping. And one thing that really got that entrepreneurial spark for me was one of my temp jobs. I found myself being a project coordinator for the Telstra Business Women's Awards, which is like a nationally recognized award ceremony here in Australia. And as part of that job, I would read profile after profile of very successful Australian women who were making a difference, plus making, major money doing what they loved. And I saw their profiles. That job required me to call their references up and just ask them, how is your boss, or what do you think of this woman, and what is it about her that makes her special? And I didn't want to go home from that job. Like, I could be on the phones all day, and I had I remember one of the ladies that I had to call was Terry Irvin, who was, from like Australian zoos, and I called her when it was like some weird hour in the night, and I had to apologize for that. But all of that was like, I was reading The Alchemist at that point on the train, and I was like, something, like when you get that thing in your heart, like, this is it, Nadhira. Like, I got that hit. It was like, you're supposed to have your own business. So that was the seed I found. And from then I had my own journey from that piece, but that was where it all started. It's like, I made a decision that I'm going to follow this business thing.
And was it part of it being inspired by these women who are doing it and making it and being successful at what they were doing?
Yeah, I think part of it was that, they would have, like, maybe it was like a skincare product, and they had this need that they want to fulfill because they couldn't find a product for their daughter, because she had some really weird breakout story. It was either that or like how Boost Juice came into being in Australia. Like, so I read like these massive brands, things that I would see in the media, and I was like, well, to me that was pretty successful if they're well known, and people are paying for it because they like it and they have like a particular loyalty to it. Like, to me, that was like something about, I think, having their own freedom, and I think the main thing was just them following their own soul calling, because that came through in the responses I was reading, and that to me was like, I want to do that. So what I do now is I help women who are on that entrepreneurial journey, but find that sales piece, the piece that they stumble. They will do anything. They will do their websites, they'll go design their business cards, do everything that they think they need in order to have a business, but somehow would stop themselves from taking the little action that they need to go get a client. Because to me, it's like, well, what is your business without the people?
You have to ask for the business.
Exactly.
And you have to have the people, because otherwise you're just sort of an expert in some area without being able to share your gift or share your value.
And that was devastating to me, the thought of doing the whole life coaching thing and having all of these skills, because I learned hypnosis and neurolinguistic programming, all of these things,
and then you invest so much.
Exactly. And I was thinking, well, if I can't apply it, if I can't teach other people this, that's going to hurt more
than maybe the little bit of discomfort it takes sometimes to pick up the phone and say, hi, we met at this event, and if whatever I said resonated, I would love to speak with you about what it is that we could do together. It's like those little openings. So I help people with the words.
How do you see entrepreneurship being the vehicle of doing what you love and living the life you want to live?
Oh, wow. I love that question. So to me, I think what sparked me on this journey is freedom is a big value for me. Like, I knew that when I was, say, working for someone else and an opportunity would come up in my inbox about taking a 2.5-day little adventure somewhere and going to something, I would have to do so much to try and, talk to my boss and maggle things around to make it happen. I mean, I still have to do that in my business, but then I'm the only one who has to answer to that, right? I can go, yeah, the boss said yes.
So I really want to know, and I'm really excited to hear your answer, how you are changing the world, or how you want to change the world through your business.
Wow. To me, if I, through whatever I do, convey this message that sales isn't scary, and that, in fact, if we don't embrace this thing of, as a woman, really embracing and trusting in the value that you have to offer, right? Because one of my biggest things that I do in my business is a woman will come to me, she might have had a few clients and, seen the changes she's making as well, but charging maybe $60 for a session of some healing modality. And then these people, she gives so much, and then the client thinks they're totally fixed, and then they never come back. And so this one goes, oh my God, she hasn't the income or that way of sustaining herself, and she's, giving, and there's nothing really coming back. And there's all these things that she wants to invest in, and it's not happening. And so my thing is about allowing that woman who already knows she's here to make a big difference. She's a leader, she's creating waves, and I help her start to create some premium offerings in her business, so that your needs can be met with having 1 or 2 clients at a premium offering a month, which gives you space and all of this other space in your calendar to do the creative stuff that's probably going to go mass, that could be at lower value offerings where, thousands and 2,000 people can go buy it, whatever. But for me, I think the biggest thing is giving of how I do things now. It's I've got a 2-year-old, I've got my business and my clients, and it just seems to all fit in quite naturally with who I am. For now, it's good. It's I open up my calendar twice a week for client stuff, but then the other days, like today, I could just go, I want to come spend time with you and, do some creative stuff, because I have that part of me that needs to be nourished as well. So giving that woman that real deep sense of, if you have something, you can go create an offering where you get to bring all of you to the table. So it's not just do one session here and then you never see that client. It's what if you're the type of person who wants to run retreats, and it's your soul is calling you to do that? Well, let's see how we can make that happen.
So you bring this idea. I mean, what I'm hearing is that when you work with your customers, you're really changing the world in terms of changing one world at a time, and in terms of bringing light to the value that they have, that they shouldn't undersell themselves, and that they really ought to honor these inklings that they have inside of themselves and their passions and their interests, and sort of tie it in together and make it an honorable business where it is sustainable emotionally and mentally and financially.
Yeah, I think when someone says to me, oh my God, I can't believe I get paid to do this, to me, I light up inside.